I think what's really important when you think about the Goldilocks zone is thinking about where you are in your company's life cycle. So for example, if you're just starting out, you really don't want to think about revenue-based financing or anything that is dependent on you making revenue to pay it back. But if you are thinking about, if you've sort of hit some milestones and you're at the exact right moment, you're not too hot, but not too cold, just right. That's the time you want to think about things like alternative financing, and revenue-based financing would fit in that type of category.
So remind me when you started Wagepoint.
So we started Wagepoint in 2012 in Canada. And we launched our Canadian product in July of 2013 because payroll just takes a long time to build and get right.
So between 2012 and 2013, July 2013, how did you fund yourself?
So there we funded ourselves through, we had an angel investor, a couple of angel investors that had put in a couple of $100,000 in the company, and we used that to basically get to the next step.
Right, and so then what was after that? You started selling in 2013?
Well, we started getting beta customers in November of 2012. And at that time, we started to, we started charging for it right away, pretty much. I don't think we did a lot of freebies because, well, it's payroll and people are used to paying for it. So we figured we should charge for it. And then in July 2013, when we officially launched, that was we had a sales process too around that, at that time.
Right. And so it must have been a great day when somebody first paid you for using Wagepoint.
Oh my God. I was almost like, I think the time we turned on billing was very close to Christmas. So it felt like a Christmas present. And it was like $25. It was like probably the smallest Christmas present I ever got in my life. But I was like, oh my God.
I would say that, you should take all the money you can from your customers. And then you take all the money you can from government.
Yeah.
And then you take all the money you can from TIMIA before you even think about equity. And other than your angel investors, that's sort of what you did.
Yeah, that's pretty close to it. We did take some institutional capital through Extreme Venture Partners in Toronto, but it wasn't large. It was always really small size checks because fundamentally, when we believed in sort of bootstrapping the business as much as possible, and ownership retention was a big part of that.
How do you pick an investor?
With TIMIA, it was very easy because I had the relationship with you. And then when you introduced us to the rest of your team, they all seemed like reasonable, rational people. And that's when we decided to go off the races.
Right. And what's interesting about that answer is you didn't mention price.
We're very driven by the company we keep. Just in general, there are many times when we have an opportunity to make a certain decision that may actually result in us doing a lot better in some format, but it means that we're going to sacrifice the company we keep. And by that I mean, it's so important that we're actually able to talk to someone without actually worrying about how it comes across or what the fallout for what you say might be.
You decided to go venture debt instead of an equity raise.
Yeah.
Can you share with me what your thinking was on that?
Yeah. So I think equity raise is great for when you are still testing things and you are not really sure where your next big spike is going to come from. So for example, you're like, okay, I want to double my customer base and I got to go do a bunch of tests for I got to maybe run some ads. I got to try a better content strategy, whatever it is. Maybe I need to pick up some channel partners and I need to work on that and make that happen. So at that point, equity is great because you're using you're using fairly expensive funds. And I say expensive because regardless of the valuation, you're still giving up your company and some part of your control, which is super important, right? So you're using some of this expensive money to test stuff and hopefully find something that you can actually double down on, right? And so equity is great for that. But when you have bona fide deals or you have stuff that you've closed, so now you've gone and you've closed some great partnerships, you've closed some channel opportunities that you didn't have before. Maybe you have like 5 new accounting firms in our case where they're like all going to put on 100 customers each. And all you need is to support and let those deals produce over time. At that point, I think something like venture debt is actually a better idea because it becomes cheaper, because you know that you're going to have an outcome if you just make an investment to
Right.
allow those opportunities to produce. It increases the valuation of our company, and ultimately that's the game, right? So
Yeah.
that was our strategy and why we thought about going venture debt.